So when making few cents a day, I still remember telling my mom, we were living in a 700 square feet flat. This thing is gonna be big one day. I just don't know how, but my dream is just making 5 ringgit a day. But at the same time, I just thought that, wow, this is amazing.
You went all in, things started moving, revenue went from almost nothing to 20 million ringgit. You went from a 3-man team to now you have something like 100 people working with you. Then came the conversation that changed everything, listing on Bursa Malaysia.
When we first started business, we didn't thought of listing the company. I do consider myself a very good content creator. But content creator, many people can do. Content creator have to think what content could go viral next week. But a CEO will think, what are the impact? What are the company going beyond 10 and 15 years later? So moving forward, Foodie Media, we want to share here first exclusively. We are in the phase of
Most people who embark on an IPO had a plan. They built a business, grew it, and worked towards a listing. My guest today didn't have a plan. He just wanted to make 5 ringgit a day from a food blog. And somehow that food blog became a listed company with 46 million followers across Southeast Asia. Today, we'll find out, how does a company that begins with a side hustle grow into a business with real scale and with people to lead, pressure to manage, and grit in execution? Joining us today is Pinn Yang, co-founder and CEO of Foodie Media Berhad. Pinn, welcome and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Dato. Pleasure is mine.
Before we get into anything, when you were covering hawker stalls in Penang at night after work, did you ever think you'll be here today?
Honestly, no. I still remember that time back in 2016, after I left Tencent, go back to Penang. I just thought that the idea that I was building at Tencent, that time we were building a food app, it could work. So after work, we go out with my brother. We just cover hawker. Penang's known for food paradise of Asia. So nasi lemak, char kway teow, curry mee. After work, we just cover. The joy is that we want to tell the local hawker story digitally. And getting views, getting the hustle on, learning how to edit video. That was really it. None of my brother and I and my partners think of, we want to list the company one day. None of us.
Let's go back to the beginning. And I think when I say beginning, not the company version, but the human version. And you had a stable job, you were working for Tencent, a good company, clear path ahead. What inspired you to start a food blog in that? And I think to go to that, you said publicly you just wanted to make 5 ringgit a day. Looking back, did that feel scalable?
So after leaving Tencent, right, to be honest, all my degree life, diploma, I just wanted to work in a tech company. That time, tech company was booming. And I got in to do internship at WeChat Tencent. I was really proud, wearing the lanyard at Mid Valley. But then the product didn't launch after 2.5 years. So going back Penang, I decided maybe I should do it. But I don't have any tech background. I could only start as a food blog. So I purchased PenangFoodie.com and just started writing article. Best roti canai in Penang, best Penang food, best nasi kandar. Just the side hustle of aiming to make some money and also helping the local businesses tell their stories. And I love it. One thing I want to do is digital because I don't have the luxuries. My dad is still selling things in the morning market. I don't have the luxuries to getting grant, fund from my parents. I can only do things digital. So that's why I started in the first year. Honestly, we only got 1,000 followers. And we actually celebrated it. My wife wrote me a card to celebrate 1,000 followers on Facebook, on Penang Foodie. And I still remember making the small changes, hacking it, getting more traffic, and start monetizing it. Few cents a day. And my aim is 5 ringgit a day. 150, just enough to pay for my petrol. And that was it. So when making few cents a day, I still remember telling my mom in the living room. We were living in a 700 square feet flat. So I was side hustling, writing the article in the living room. I told my mom, I call my mom, this thing is gonna be big one day. I just don't know how, but My dream is just making 5 ringgit a day, but at the same time, I just thought that, wow, this is amazing. I could make money on the digital side, few cents a day, and on the journey from few cents a day to 5 ringgit a day, I remember telling my mom, this thing gonna be big one day, but I just don't know how and when. So that was the story. Yeah.
From 1,000 followers you mentioned earlier to 46 million to where you are today, why food? Why did you start with food?
Funny story, because at WeChat, we are building food app, right? And then I have a mark that says Foodie. So when I was asking myself, what can I build? Maybe I should build something that related to Pinn Yang, which is food. And food is, the cost is very minimal because I eat 3 meals a day. I just thought, why not? I just cover the food I eat on daily basis. I don't have to purposely buy something that I don't use, but eat. I do eat 3 meals a day, and the cost is very minimal. And everybody loves food. Everyone's eat 3 meals a day, and Malaysian Penang nights. Everybody loves food. And I just thought of like, why not I promote the local food to the world? That time, I realized traditional media, they only feature big companies. And I think our local hero deserve their own stories digitally. Food is very easy to start. The cost is very minimal and it's scalable. And there's always new cafe popping up every week. And now and then it's still true. And today there's still a lot of new concept. And now we only realize food connects people, right? A lot of conversation. We talk about stock, we talk about homes, we talk about parenting. This all coming from food, yeah.
That's very interesting. And you mentioned that your father worked in a market. Did that in a way inspire you to start with food?
Yeah. So Dato, I'm Hainanese. So my dad first venture was actually selling Hainanese chicken rice. But that business didn't work out. And he became insurance agent. But after the economic crisis, he sell walk in the morning market. I call him walk master, walking. So what we will do is every single morning, he will wake up very early, 4 to 5 a.m., getting his van and go to the morning market. So during school break, weekend, me and my brother will follow him. So we will have him set up the physical store with Bursa, kayu, kain, and we display the wok. So my dad, what he will do is, he will do a lot of demonstrations. We will help him to buy eggs, fish, tepung, for him to make the cooking. And then he will do demonstrations. Good time, we will have 10 people watching him do demonstration. Bad day, raining, we have to pack and go back. The good day scenario is we can sell 4 to 5 wok a day, which is very, very good. Sometimes bad day, raining, as a kid that sometimes we don't follow, but when we see him come back at 10 a.m., we know it didn't work out. There's no sales that day. But sometimes when we do good, sales is amazing. Weekend, we get to makan together. That was the best memory ever. When a weekend, my parents will bring us to eat nasi kandar. So those were the spot that, I immediately go and cover because it has sentimental value and it's really amazing food that my dad will bring us on the weekend. So food is really the joyful moment that we look forward on a weekend basis. Monday to Friday, my mom will cook. She is a housewife. And weekend is like the amazing bonding session. And food is really something that we love. And the moment is really fun. Yeah.
Was your family very supportive of some of the things that you were doing going out at night, doing the 5 ringgit?
They are very supportive. Even though, Asian parents, they want a stable job. Yes, so we know that, that's why as an anak sulung, the first child of the family, I knew that I couldn't start a business out of graduate. So I immediately applied a stable job, one of my dream company, Tencent. And back to Penang, I still have a stable job. I was earning 3.5K a month. I was working in a digital marketing company. I love digital. And then after work, they were the one that sometimes fetch me to do the shooting as well. My dad is really supportive, but they will ask us to start small, start slow. They were really being really supportive. will never once give us any negative thoughts. So we will really open up. We open our conversation. We say, hey, dad, mom, me, we are making few cents a day. It's getting traction. Until somebody pay us 50 ringgit per review, 100 ringgit per review. We share the joy together. And the joy is also coming from my dad will fetch me. And going back to the spot that we will go and makan when we were kids. We cover the stories. Yeah. Even though it's only getting us a year to hit 1K, they were still very supportive. My mom is someone that's really happy-go-lucky mom. That everything we do, she's still being really supportive. And even until now, some of the joyful moments, for example, we close our client, we will share that. We will have a call and she will ask us, how are we doing? What happened after listing? Are you stressed? We just share every single moment. We share to them. We're very open. They are really very supportive since the beginning.
Excellent. And I guess those experiences must have also developed the resilience and grit in doing business. And as you grow and scale up, I used to run an advisory firm more than 20 years ago. And one of the things I remember is getting my first check, which I wish I had framed it. Unfortunately, I needed the money, so I didn't. But tell us a little bit about the first US dollars 100 that you received from Google AdSense, and what did you do with it, and what did it mean to you?
Yeah, Dato, that's really give me a very emotional thought. It's been quite some times I didn't reflect back why I start Foodie at the first place. I start Foodie because I want to change my family life. When I was a kid, during the Cita-Cita at primary school, I wrote businessman. I want to be like my dad. I didn't know how to spell the word entrepreneur. I just wrote businessman. But nobody told me entrepreneurship, businessman, the journeys can be so hard. Nobody told us that. It was the resilience, the experience that I followed my dad, looking through how hard businesses can be. Tough day. During my time when I was following my dad in the morning market, first-hand experience looking at rejection. When we do demonstration, cooking, to show the unique selling point of the pan, the wok, the amount level of rejections that we will face on a daily basis. And every day we get that. It's a cycle. Every day we start from zero. Every single day the sales are zero. And I never heard my dad giving up. Those days when we go to everywhere. Bukit Mentajam, on the bridge. Good day, we will sing a bit, have some fun. Bad day, the journey was really quite quiet. But a lot of reflection is, my dad never give up. And he never give any negativity. It's like, this thing wouldn't work. I should have some other job. So same thing applied when we first started Pinn Yang Foodie. The journey was really going out, hustling, getting a lot of rejection as well. Because at first, people don't have the concept of, you come to my store, shooting it, posting it online. That idea was not something that people open up. Because a lot of people are saying, are you stealing my recipe, to be honest? Of course, now people welcome us with open hand. But sometimes, like the amount of hustle, 365 days, we only gotten 1,000 followers. We always ask ourselves, imagine if we give up on the first year, we wouldn't have the skill and journey today. So the resilience is something that nobody will ever imagine how tough the journey was, right? Getting the views, getting the trust from the community as well, that's really hard. And getting the first check, the 100,000, and it is USD, is amazing. I straight away used the money and really bought some other domain as well. I bought krfoodie.com. I bought johorfoodie.com. And that was the time I feel like, okay, if Pinn Yang Foodie will work, I want to scale this one day to other region as well. That was a thought, very, very naive, I would say, from 100 USD. That's kind of the MVP is formed. It's not enough for us to survive, the three co-founders, standard salary because we were making 3.5K a month. But it's there. It was really a good starting point, and we thought to ourselves, maybe, again, this could be one day change our family life, right? It's really very naive thought, but somehow we managed to manifest it. Somehow the hard work, the everyday night of we use our camera, one phone, we go around, take the video, go back, we burn the midnight oil just to edit the video. Those were really a good memories.
So you quit. You went all in, and then things started moving, and revenue went from almost nothing to 20 million ringgit. You went from a 3-man team to now you have something like 100 people working with you. And then came the conversation that changed everything, listing on Bursa Malaysia.
Yeah.
So if I could just take you to talk about the listing decision, because listing is not something that someone does by accident. It's a deliberate choice. Walk me through why list, why now, and what were you trying to say to the market? What's the message?
Right. So, honest conversation. When we first started business, we didn't thought of listing the company. First year, we started 2018 in Sdn Bhd. Revenue started to grow, hiring more people. We have the system that could scale from 10 people team to 25 people, 50 people, and today 100 people. The conversation when we have with the board is we could bring this to the public market. A few reasons that we want to share to the investor today is Foodie Media is very scalable, and we only are very much in F&B, food. That's what we are known for. But other vertical that we saw many potential there. Before listing, 80%, close to 90% of revenue coming from F&B. Post listing, more than 30% are non-F&B vertical. It gives a message, a signaling that non-F&B vertical are also growing up. And essentially, this is what we want to do, because we have a system that we could grow non-F&B vertical, the content that we want to build. And secondly, is we really want to bring Foodie Media, this case study, a local entrepreneur that come from nothing, one day could make sure the company is profitable. We have a good system, governance that could bring a 3-man entrepreneur to 100 people now today to the public market. Secondly, is the branding side. A lot of businesses that work with us for the past few years, the ticket size are really very minimal. But we want to say to the people today is the level amount of trust that we can close a deal post-listing is way beyond our expectations. Then we know that the signaling is people want to do business. The level amount of trust is they want to work more with a public listed company, especially in Bursa market. And thirdly, we want to list in Bursa because we are anak Malaysia. We want to list in Malaysia and inspire more generation or more businesses. In fact, if you want to grow, then you should list, because you get the capital from the public market. You can scale faster and bigger. And what we want is scale of after getting the fund size raising from the capital market. And by using the fund that we have raised, we could go to other vertical as well. And we believe that content is just our starting point. Our MOAT right now is distributions. Now, our company, not just in content business, we also do creator business. We also do commerce business, and lastly, community. So 4C is surrounding our business ecosystem right now and help us invest back to the company. And now we are very excited after gold listing because we can use the capital that we have raised and go into other vertical as well. So this really gives us very, very positive impact to the company.
Excellent. Actually, you mentioned one word, trust. Yeah. Maybe you can share with us, how do you see trust being a very key factor to build your business?
Because going public listed is not easy. Governance is the key here, that all the PLC have to face through. You have good business, good profitability, but PLC, we want governance. Investor want governance. So in order for the company that's stable, have good system and governance, is really give us a reliability and trust. That's why going public listed is not easy. It's not like you want to go today. It's a year journey. So it took us about 18 months for us to go public listings. That means that internally we have good system, good governance, good team, good board that really governance that. Trust happen where the company have a certain size of governance, good BOD. So when a company that want to do business with us, they normally do due diligence. And we save a lot of hassle, trust there. And businesses like big MNC, big PLC, when they want to do a business with us, it's very easy. Because now we have trust there.
Excellent. In terms of transitioning yourself, from an Instagram page into now being CEO of a public listed company, how has that been?
I do consider myself a very good content creator. But content creations, many people can do. But a CEO of PLCs, I think the two differences that I want to point out is content creator have to think what works, what content could go viral, what content could give you impact next week. But a CEO will think, what are the impact, what are the company going beyond 10 and 15 years later. I think there's a two different thinking, being a content creator than handling many page than a CEO. So for me, I put more effort right now scaling the company. Very strategic in thinking. I read more right now, listen to more podcasts right now. Really help me to equip more in decision level. How to help company build from 37 million revenue last year. This year we are projecting 45 million. And next year, we want to double-digit growth. This is what me, as a CEO, want to bring that message to the shareholder. Yeah, so I put a lot more effort right now, striking deals, getting more revenue to the company, hiring right people.
Yes, yeah. And that shift or evolution or transition into focusing more on strategy is key.
You're right,
and managing people, that's the other aspect of running a PLC. Maybe if I could just ask a little bit, conventional media has been around for a long time. And when you decided to list, clearly you saw the future of digital media.
Yes.
And maybe maybe you could share a little bit, how do you see this future? And how did you convince the market that this is the way to go in terms of digital media?
All right. So Foodie Media is not built to replace traditional media. Whereas basically, we are going with the attention span are moving towards. So the attention spans right now for all of the people right now are mainly digital. So this is where we want to be. We want to be where the attention span are. Right now, and maybe in 10 years, it could be digital, but it could be somewhere else in the future. So we want to be the company that really focusing on consumer experience, consumer attentions. And we believe our mode is distributions. So all kind of scenario happening today, next week, next month, 5 years later, 10 years later, where consumer attention is, we want to be there. And realistically, consumer attention right now are on your devices. Very small screen that we see after we wake up. We check it on before we sleep. So these are the attention span that we knew there's money there. If we own the attentions of people, we could do a lot of things for our brands. Then ultimately, what we want to do is deliver quality content, build trust, and build community. So a lot of people can do content, can build followings, but not many people can build community. So Foodie Media right now, we are not just in the spectrum of content. We are in the ecosystem of 4C, content. We want to build quality content in all kind of vertical. We believe food connects people. That's why we have vertical like property, financing, car, automotive, technology as well. We could have the spectrum ecosystem of AI as well, because AI is coming. Secondly, creator. So we work closely with good content creator in Malaysia and Southeast Asia to really help them connect to our brands. That will help us scale our business as well. Thirdly, commerce. Prior our pod, we actually had a conversation. Dato asked me, do you want to be a platform, like commerce platform? The answer is we don't want. We want to leverage on the platform that's ready, good technology, have AI tracking and all. We want to leverage on them. Now, the platform that we are focusing on TikTok, because that's why TikTok is winning the market, because they own the attention. Then that's why they can do TikTok live streamings very easily. People right now, they want to see content more than ads. So we want to focus on content. And lastly, community. The hardest part to build in any business is community. Because people right now, the Gen Z, they want to where they belong to. They want to buy something that they belong to the product. Because right now, all kind of product basically have same product feature already. Same unique selling points, same benefits. But what do the consumer wants is community. They want to belong to a certain brand, and we want to build that. So moving forward, Foodie Media, in fact, maybe we want to share here first exclusively, we are rethinking our branding positioning, the brand name to the public. So I think now is the right time to do, because Foodie Media is more than that. What do you think, Dato?
I totally agree. And I think for us at Bursa, we believe that companies should think about the long-term value creation, where you're going in terms of your strategic direction, and make that and articulate that clearly to the shareholders, because at the end of the day, it is all about building the company and growing the company. And as a listed company, of course, there's earnings that you need to think about. So if I ask you to just narrow down to one or two core strategies that you would be looking at in the near future, where would that be? What would that be?
We should build more trust in our content. We believe the consumer right now and the future, they don't want to see ads. They want to see content. So we urge all the company in Malaysia and Southeast Asia should rethink your content strategy. Stop delivering ads. Do more in content. Build trust among your community. This is what exactly we want to do. We also want to partner with more content creator, because the trust right now on consumer are also key opinion leader. So these are the two things we want to focus, and we will duplicate this success model across all vertical that we want to build and all the region we want to grow.
So you listed, the funds were raised, and now begins the next chapter of the journey. How you deploy that capital, how you scale the business, and what kind of leader you envision yourself to become in this process. So you raised 41 million of new capital from the IPO, and more than half of that has been allocated to expanding your team to support the growth. So almost you're targeting something like 190 to 200 staff. But for a company that begins with 3 people covering hawker stalls in Pinn Yang, the game has completely changed for you. Yeah. And with a broader mandate now, and of course, new level of ambition coming with it. So when a company grows this fast, the hardest thing to protect is always culture. And the thing that made it special in the first place, So how do you ensure that the next person you hire, the 191st person you hire, cares about the food the way you looked at it, how you and your brother were so passionate about this business?
So our mission at the company is inspire experiences. So you will see that a lot of our branding are end with IE. So it's a reminder of our mission is inspire experiences. So with the fund that we raised, close to 41 million ringgit, we want to grow into other vertical as well. We believe food connects people. We want to inspire experiences in every aspect in our life. So food, we are strong. Property, automotive that we briefly touched on earlier. We want to be that. We will be hiring a lot of content creator, editor in that vertical to inspire experiences in those vertical. So this one, we are very confident. We are really seeing more revenue growing non-food vertical. So we want to champion that, keep doing that. And we know we can do that because our strength is in storytelling, build trust, and content creation. So as long as the people that we hire, we have the same mission, we want to inspire experiences in any aspect. We want to help the small businesses in Malaysia and Southeast Asia to tell their story digitally. They are welcome to join the company. So these are the people that we keep on the same message when we hire them, one same message. We are here to inspire experiences. We are here to tell the local SME and F&B stories. If you are on the same missions, please join us. Then we also want to build our live streaming facility. So we are expecting to go into our new HQ targeting August this year. We are very exciting. All this vertical, all this content creation, all this live streaming are going to be built there. So this is a next phase of growth at Foodie Media. So this one I'm very excited. About leadership, I'm someone that still stay true to, I want to be a human as possible, right? Especially now with AI. A lot of thinking, a lot of proposal. We can use AI to type prompt. We can get all the answer. But I think one thing that couldn't be replaced is ourselves, right? Our thinking, Dato thinking, and our thinking is the one that is irreplaceable. I want to be as human as possible so that we can give a very good relationship with our shareholder, our partner, our businesses owner, and our consumer. So, and when one join us, they can come to me anytime and any point to give me feedback. I want to inspire that culture. So at the company right now, because I love entrepreneurship, I want to inspire my team to have an entrepreneur program in the business. So I really welcome anyone that has worked with us a few years. They can come and give a proposal like Shark Tank. They will propose to start a new vertical. So a lot of good page. You all can check it out. It's called Story MY. It's a very heartwarming story that on Instagram and TikTok. A guy that worked with us for like 5 years already. He said, one day, come to my office, Pinn Yang, I want to start this business. Let's do it together, right? We have a co-ownership because we believe ownership is very important in the company as well. When people take ownership, they give it all out. So these are the culture that I want to do. And for me, it's always focusing on in the future. What we want to heading, and I say it clearly, I convey the message clearly to my team. And a lot of time, when something doesn't go right, the first question I ask is myself, did I convey the message clearly? Did I give the support that I could? So these are the things that I always ask myself. So be human as possible, growing mindset, be open, and execute. I think execution is very important. I want to be the leader and CEO is that I set the vision, I also execute it.
I truly, I can appreciate that. I think it's important that leaders always stay grounded. They are always very clear in terms of their messaging. And of course, humility is very important. And I like the part that you've just shared where you are thinking about working with others and helping others to grow their businesses also. Maybe just moving on to the next area is when you look at, for example, where you are today, and you have now to answer to many investors. How do you see, in the past it's always just 2 or 3 of you, but today you have a lot of investors that you have to, constantly engage. And for us at Bursa, we want you to constantly have investor engagement to be able to share with them some of the things that you're thinking, where you're going, in terms of how do you see the future for the business. How do you see that today transitioning to now you got thousands of shareholders to deal with, including institutional shareholders?
It's still very new, Dato. It's about 6 months. I'm still in the learning process as a CEO of PLC, but I do enjoy it. For me, I really enjoy talking to institutional fund. So every quarter, now and then, I'm really looking forward to do the presentation. I feel like a good CEO should really represent a company and really share the vision. That is our responsibility. But I would like to plan my time maybe 95% still growing the business, 5% are taking care of the shareholder. Before listing, we don't have to do that. We need to only do monthly management review and do a quarterly board meeting. That's sufficient. But right now it's totally different. But I do enjoy the process. So 5% of my time, if a fund wants to meet, I think it's my responsibility. I will go to CFO together. But 95% of my effort, my energy, I spend on growing what I'm good at, which is to grow the business. Make sure the revenue is growing, make sure the profitability is there. That I would love to spend my time most of it on. I'm still learning. Because totally different, because our industry are very new. We're getting a lot of feedback is, your business is very new. Couldn't find comparable, which is also very fun because I inspire many content creation company. A lot of content creators want to list one day as well. So I take pride in that. But handling fund, handling thousands of investors, for me, I know if I deliver the number, I'll get there. So my focus is not really focusing on share price. My focusing is delivering what I'm promised. And I want to make sure I deliver that. That is the first thing I wake up, I remind myself, I'm now a PLC CEO. I have to give the confidence, I have to deliver what have been promised. If something really go wrong, first thing I want to tell them. But something that go right, I want to have a moment as well because I value them as shareholder. So I really value every single shareholder that believe in the company. People come and go, totally understand, but we do welcome back any potential investor because I want to deliver long-term value to them. And I think we're still early.
Excellent. Growing the business, scaling it up will take time, and organically sometimes can be quite challenging. Would you think about M&As?
Yes. We are thinking about M&A. It's not our main focus, Dato, but if the company will give a lot of leverage, we can help them scale and grow. They are doing something for the future, we will consider.
Okay, Pinn Yang, here's what I take away from this conversation. You started with a simple idea, a sense of curiosity, and the drive to build something meaningful from ground up. And what began as an effort to create value in a small but tangible way has certainly seen it grow to a listed company today, transforming itself to a food-focused platform, and now you're talking about other verticals and scaling into a profit-generating business. You've got 46 million followers across Southeast Asia. But what stands out most is not just the scale of what you've built, but the clarity of purpose and the persistence behind it. The willingness to keep taking the next step and to keep building it with conviction. That is what makes this story so compelling. Thank you, Pinn Yang, for joining us. And I also want to wish you, Pinn Yang, congratulations on you'll be having a child soon.
Yes.
And your wife is expecting. How many months is it already?
Close to 5 months now.
Wow,
Thank you, Dato.
Congratulations
I'm very excited
congratulations, and thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And we hope all the very best to you and your family. Pinn Yang, thank you for joining us at Beyond the Gong. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dato.